had looked at this every Christmas for the last few years, and this time I happened to be out shopping, I saw it. The price was alright, $49.99, which is basically €50. So I thought, alright, let's buy it. Power adapter. Looks like it's a USB plug. Probably the smallest handbook I've ever seen. Nope, it's a catalogue. Ah, the handbook's in there, duh. Which way is up? Ah, it's a briefcase, it doesn't really matter. But, yep, there's feet. I got it the wrong way up. Yay me! It's well wrapped, I give it that. Would be doing this on a windy day, wouldn't I? Okay, before we open up, let's have a look. There are two speakers on the front. Not terribly big, but ought to be sufficient. USB and SD card on the side. And there's the power adapter, 5V 1A, so probably could run off USB. A line in and a headphone jack. Nothing on the other side, so it feels a little bit plasticky, but it's not that bad. Just not sure about the big metal things on there. I suppose it's meant to look old. That's a nice touch, putting that there. Please remove before using product. There's a little adapter there. I don't know if you can see it. For 45s that have the big hole in the middle. Yeah, velvety as well. I've come across ones where the part here is just solid rubber and it's kind of hard. Power on volume. Here is a button for phono, aux, Bluetooth and USB. Auto stop on off, 33, 45, 78. To record, play next, to play previous. I suppose that's for the USB commanding. So, hang on for a moment while I go plug this in. I should add that the USB adapter is a generic 5V 1A travel charger. As it happens, I was wrong. On the back is a 3.5mm input. The headphones are there, which is useful. Like that. Remove the cover from that. Right. Ready to go, I think. Now, if we're going to have an old-timey format, then I guess we need an oldie-timey record to go with it. That'll finish in just a moment and I can turn it up. Right, turn the volume up. turn it down because of copyright. What I'm doing now is I'm recording, in theory, to the USB key there. You line up and get the record playing and long press that until you hear one beep. When you finish recording, do it again and it'll beep twice. Now what I noticed in the bag is there's a spare stylus there, which is kind of cool. Okay, here it is. It puts itself into the record folder in the USB device. And looking at media info, it is recorded at 128 kilobits a second at 44.1 kilohertz stereo. You can also pair with a USB device.
Bluetooth mode.
When you do that, it appears as...
Connected.
Well, that was quick. So yes, this will be a fun way to dig up Mum's Bob Dylan records. Haven't found Mum's Dylan collection, but I did find mine. And, of course, if I had to give one criticism about this, it's the auto stop tends to finish a little early for 45s. As you can see. Wonder if that can be tweaked. As it happens, the answer is yes. In here is a simple switch, which I will show you now. The stylus is in the home position. And that's the end of the record. And back to the home position, if I can get it in place. There we go. So to give a little bit more space at the end of the record, to delay when it turns on, simply undo this screw here a few turns, and this piece here will move out a little bit. You can see there's a spring there. So it will kick in a little later, won't stop at the very end of your song. Looking elsewhere, a 12 volt, so there's a buck converter in here, or 9 to 12 volt stepper motor, which should give a fairly regulated speed of the 33, 45 and 78. Over here is the controller board. You can see the Bluetooth antenna up on the top left there. Let's turn it round this way a little bit. The main chip, which is near the Bluetooth, is a CHEC 14B7B. I've not been able to find anything much about that, except that Google seems to think it's some sort of ARM Cortex device. There's the USB and the SD card input. And round the back here, there's the audio input and the power. It's all fairly solidly built on pieces of chipwood. And as you can see from down there by the audio jack, copious amounts of glue. Still, 45s now plays the end, which is what I wanted. As for the stylus, this is a spare one, and you can see it's a remarkably simple thing. That's all there is to it. This is good news because you can buy packs of 10 for about, well, 10-12 euros on Amazon. Now I get that you might be a bit like, what the hell Rick, because of vinyl. It's an analog medium, it's restricted in its dynamic range because of that, especially on the bass with the equalization. And every single bit of dust and fluff you will hear. However, the first song of side 2 here is called The Boxer, and it will distort. It just goes completely crazy at the end of that song. Now, if you have a modern version on CD or whatever that's remastered, rejigged, whatever, I think that would lose something. Now, admit it, which child of the 80s hasn't danced around to this and then denied ever doing it? Stranger Things got that completely correct. This version, however, is a 12-inch, but as you can see from here, it runs at 45, and you can also see it needs a clean, but it played alright. It goes for about, I think, 6 or 7 minutes. I had a look on Amazon Music, and you get the normal edit, 3 or 4 minutes, the radio edit. And finally, this one's completely unknown to Amazon Music. It's a song, It's All Coming Back to Me Now, which is one of Celine Dion's pieces that you may know. I think it was also covered by Glee or something like that. This version came first, performed by Elaine Caswell. It runs for 8 minutes and 22 seconds, and believe me when I say it's better than any version Celine Dion has ever done. But I suppose more to this is when tapes started to cease becoming a thing and CDs were popular, we had something called the loudness wars, where everybody was manipulating what the audio sounded like to be louder than everybody else, and it just made music sound terrible. I have found on various streaming services such as Deezer and Amazon Music, Erasure, which is a group I happen to like from the 80s, but all I can find now are the remastered versions. The originals, no. At least with old records, you get the originals. You don't get ones that have been played around with to, quote, see scare quotes, sound better, unquote.